Hi, today we're going to be comparing two of the lightest and most affordable car seats on the market today. We're going to be looking at the Cosco Scenera and we're going to be looking at the Safety First Jive. Now, one of the things that makes the Cosco Scenera one of the most popular car seats for travel is that it is very light. This one comes in at only 8 pounds and it's also very affordable, somewhere in the range of $60. The Safety First Jive is also very common. It comes in slightly heavier at 10 pounds and it runs somewhere between $80 and $120 at the time of this video. Both of them are excellent travel options, and we'll take a look at why. When we look at build quality and padding in the two car seats, they're very, very similar. They have light padding, just enough to keep your kiddo comfortable, but not as much as some of the big expensive car seats on the market. When we look at the build quality of the plastic, they're both very, very similar. The Safety First is a little bit bigger, as we'll talk about in our height restrictions, but otherwise the overall quality of the seat itself is very, very similar. Now we will talk about height and weight limits, and this is where there's a really big difference between these two car seats. You can see in rear-facing mode, both car seats are up to 40 pounds rear-facing, and so equal in the rear-facing. But one of the big differences is that the Safety First Jive is a taller car seat, so it allows for greater height. So forward-facing, the Safety First Jive allows you to go up to 65 pounds and 49 inches, where forward-facing on the Cosco Scenera goes up to 40 pounds and 43 inches. So you get 6 extra inches and another 25 pounds when you go to the Safety First car seat. As I move this headrest here, and that is removable, you can take that out. You can see that the Safety First car seat does allow for a lot of extra height compared to the Cosco car seat. That's one of the reasons we had to upgrade to the Safety First, is because our son at 13 months is already starting to outgrow our Cosco seat. Here we'll do a comparison of the car seats in the vehicle. So here's the Cosco seat. This is my Dodge Durango, so it is a fairly large vehicle. And you see that it is a rather tight fit. When it's rear facing, I use the seat belt, and so the seat belt goes through here. I didn't tighten it all the way, just for the sake of this video, so it is a loose seat belt, just to let you know. But the seat belt feeds through here, it goes underneath the padding of the seat, comes out the other side and buckles in. Here's the rear facing of the Safety First Jive. You can see that it is quite a bit taller, so it does take up more space in the back seat. One thing of note is that there are 2 lines on the Safety First. If I had a smaller child who is not able to support their head independently, so 5 to 22 pounds, this would need to recline further and the front seat would have to go forward further. So if you have a small car and you have a very young child, that's something to keep in mind with this seat, is that if this seat had to tilt further, my car, I would have to move that front seat further, even more than it is right now. With my 13-month-old, he can sit on the higher seat, where the top level line goes from 22 pounds up to 40 pounds, and they can hold their head up unassisted, or they can sit up unassisted, so he can sit more upright. So there's 2 different levels that you can sit this car seat at. You can do that, or you can slant it further. You can see this seat takes up just as much room as my great big Graco Forever over there that my little dude sits in every day. Again, I did not tighten this for the sake of this video. It's just to show you the size. Here's the Cosco Scenera in forward-facing mode. So you can see there's a separate belt path for the seatbelt to pass through. On both of these car seats, the seatbelt goes directly behind the padding. So if you are in an airline and the seatbelt has that buckle that goes here, there's a chance that your child will feel it on both of these seats, as the seatbelt passes directly behind this thin layer of padding for both seats. One thing that's different about the Safety First than the Cosco seat is it has this flip that comes out when you're in forward-facing mode. So when you're rear-facing, this is flat, and so that this is the part of the seat that sits on your seat. And when you switch to forward-facing mode, this pops up so that this leg will rest on your seat. So then this part here and this leg will be what rests on the seat. So this folds down in rear-facing mode to allow for further recline. And then to sit up more straight, this flips up in forward-facing mode. Here's the forward-facing Safety First Jive in my Durango. Very similar installation to the Cosco one. The seatbelt comes through. There's a pocket in the back. It goes behind the padding of the seat, comes out the same kind of pocket on the other side, and clicks in. Again, this is not tight. This is just to show size in the vehicle. To see if you can see it, there's that extra leg back there that gives it a little bit of a different incline. So there's that extra leg that I discussed earlier. So there is Safety First. That is my comparison between the Cosco and the Jive. One final note, for some reason on my Cosco seat, when you tighten the straps and you have to pull this cord to tighten them, it is very hard for me to tighten the straps on this seat. I sometimes have to put my knee on it in order to get enough leverage to pull to tighten it. Oftentimes I'll have to reach around the back and grab the clip that the two straps hook to and pull that in order to get enough leverage to tighten it on my son enough. So that's something I really dislike about the Cosco. I don't know if that is our specific seat. Maybe we got one that has a little bit of a defect, but that's something with my Cosco that I hated. I do not have that with my Jive. When I pull this to tighten it, it pulls smooth, easy, just like my big Graco one does. If you have a car that's big enough to handle the Jive, I would recommend the Jive. Even though it's a couple pounds heavier, it does seem to have longer life because your child can be taller and heavier within that seat. And so depending on what you're looking for, that's a comparison between the two videos. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.